All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and our home team. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. And incomplete to open things up. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. The throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
1st down, Bills.
Ready. Mine's 59. Ricky.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat. From the gun on 3rd down. Lawrence. He's got it to Hilton. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 44-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Brissett on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brissett, and this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
On third down, Brissett. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And give him a gain of 37.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Here's Brissett. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Incomplete. Brings up third down and 4.
Set, ready. 6 yards. 49. Strip that ball. Strip that ball.
This is third and goal. Brissett. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports.
Matt Prater on for the field goal of 21 yards.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Throw here on second down, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Bills first down.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw. Let him know.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First down, Bills.
Here we go. Set. 18 Gator.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Escaping the pressure right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Pierre Desir. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Watch left, watch left.
Now Gordon on first down. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second and 12, Brissett. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Give him 30 yards there.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. Brissett. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at third and 10. Into the air once once more. It's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Micah Hyde comes flying in from safety for the sack. Oh, a free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. From the gun, Lawrence. Got an open man, it's Foster. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Looking, and that's caught inside the 30. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Lawrence. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So his struggles just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
It's our time. It's our time.
To throw, Brissett. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. The open man is Westbrook. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And the Colts, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football.
Come on now, let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Out of the gun, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joe Schobert in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Vegas. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Complete to Hilton. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. They go play action here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Down.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Off play action. Lawrence. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, They need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Brissett under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Muhammad Wilkerson sacks him that time, coming in off the edge. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Brissett now gets this one to Hill. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Brissett. It's Hill, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have...
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flush to his right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And the catch made by Hilton. 17 yards to pick up there. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Let's go. 8-3. Mike 58, right there. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. Defense.
2nd and 3. And off the deflection, it's caught. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
The Bills on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. From the gun, Lawrence. And he's got his man, Hilton. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10, down at the 33. Off the play fake, Lawrence. They'll roll him out right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Draw play. This is Yeldon. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Looking to throw. Lawrence. He finds Yeldon. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. The quick slant caught. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw, and that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills have taken the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Brissett looks to throw. He's going to let it fly. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill in the final minute. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Hey! Motion, motion, motion. And the ball.
On first down, it's Gordon. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he's got some space here. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And the Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Room to run again. And finally down at the 9-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over. 1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here.